Hello and welcome to the Lyman Wolf podcast. I am your host, Raceland, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Nate. What's going on, bud?
Not much. Just finished watching some anime.
Anime. Yes, and that is what we're talking about today. We are doing another anime swap. Now, this was your pick for the topic matter today, and what made you want to do another anime swap?
It has been a month since we did a last anime swap, so I figured it's time to do another one.
Oh boy, is this going to be like one of those like monthly things we do?
I just try to go through a rotation.
It's kind of hard to find anime that's only like 12 episodes long. That isn't like, oh, I think you'd really like this, because most of the time when I want to show you an anime or you want to show me an anime, it's like, I think you like this. It has 8 seasons.
Yeah.
That's the problem. When I was trying to find you an anime, it was like, oh, Nate, I think you'd really like this one. Bro, this has like 47 episodes. I'm like, oh, damn. But that's okay. So, which animes did we talk about? So, I had you watch Chainsaw Man, and you had me watch, what was it called again?
Had you watch Record of Ragnarok.
That's it, Record of Ragnarok. I forgot the name. So, I guess you want to go ahead and talk about Chainsaw Man?
Sure.
Before we do, I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. No, what you want?
If you didn't watch this, you can pause and go watch the animes really quick. Chainsaw Man is on Hulu, and Record of Ragnarok is on Netflix. So if anybody is curious about where you can find these, that's where you can find them. So go ahead with Chainsaw Man.
So Chainsaw Man, I already knew what I was getting into in the first place because I read the manga. I was mainly curious to see where the anime would leave off with the first season.
Oh, so did you read the manga?
Yeah, I read the manga already.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's a bummer.
You are going to be hard pressed to find an anime that I don't read the manga on.
Ah, that's such a bummer. I thought you were going in blind.
Nope. Actually, I'm kind of surprised. Well, I'm not too surprised. You barely remember most of the things we talk about.
Yes, I have a memory of a goldfish, as you put it.
But I've told you in detail about this manga before.
Oh, man.
So
That's such a bummer.
I was wanting to get into the anime. You just kind of gave me the push I needed to get past the rest of my list. And I really liked it. It was really good. They did a great job bringing the characters from the page to the screen. So I was really happy with it. Like, I was curious to see how the characters would adapt, especially some of my favorites. And I won't try to go into any spoilers because I don't think season 2 is available.
Oh yeah, I'm just do season 1. I mean, we're expecting spoilers for both of these animes because that's the whole point of this. We're reviewing these animes. So if you want to talk about season 1, go right ahead.
That's what I mean. I have to make sure I don't get the manga and the anime mixed up because the manga is a lot farther than the anime, obviously.
Yeah,
and
I've only seen. Good.
So, I'm curious, what would your favorite character be in this?
Oh man, I mean, the main character is pretty cool. He's
Denji.
Yeah, Denji. I do like Denji's character, but he's like such a sad, pathetic character.
So Denji is actually like one of my examples of a properly done, perverted main character.
His whole motivation is always just like, I get to touch boobs!
Yeah, like touching boobs, kissing, and all that.
Food.
But he does it in a way that, consent. A lot of perverted anime characters are usually shown to be more voyeuristic and trying to go outside of the comfort zones of the people they're trying to perv on.
The Master Roshis of the world.
Yeah. Denji, on the other hand, is like consent. Like, oh, you're offering this? Yes, I will. Okay, that's awesome. But if they're not offering, he's like, nope, I'm good. Move on to food. Because he's a very basic being. Not human being. obviously, but he is a very basic character. His literal motivation is just base needs and desires.
So before we continue much further, why don't you give our listening audience a kind of like quick synopsis of what this anime is actually about?
Sure. So this anime is about the real world, sort of a real world setting that is being haunted by devils. And the devils take the form of various new things of the world. You have things like Chainsaw Devil, which is Denji, the main character. You have the Blood Devil,
Yeah.
which is his ally Power.
Which I would now I'm thinking about it. I think Power's my favorite character.
Understandable. Power's speech, I was really interested to see how they're going to pull that off. If they're going to keep the her speaking in oldie style terms, and they did. I was really happy with that.
Yeah, Power's a really cool character.
Yeah. You have the Curse Devil. You have Fear Devil. You have Zombie Devil. Basically, anything that brings about a form of fear into humanity, you have a devil version of it.
Yeah.
Because that's what gives them their power in this world is fear. The more you fear something, the more powerful the devil is of that thing. Which is one of the reasons why Gun Devil is a very powerful devil because,
I'm so excited to see. I've only seen season 1. I didn't read the manga or nothing. I only have seen what you saw watching this anime.
Yeah.
And man, I'm so curious about where season 1 ended, what is going to happen.
Shit's going to get this season was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
They literally had one episode where they introduced a bunch of characters and the very next wiped them all out.
Yeah, I was so sad. I was so depressed when that happened.
I think in the manga that was that took maybe 3 or 4 chapters. So it happening the very next episode was kind of a shock to me.
You were just what the fuck?
They give you a little bit more conversation in the manga, I think, but dang, yeah, it was
especially that eye patch lady.
Yeah, Himeno, I think her name is.
I don't know. I'm so sad.
Yeah, Himeno, man, she got it rough. But also, damn, I can't even say her death had real
meaning.
Yeah,
she died for literally no reason.
I mean, not
come on, man.
If you really want to the big picture kind of thing, she did buy them some time so Makima can do her thing, which is crazy as well. Makima is just so terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
now Makima, if I remember, Makima is the gravity chick, right?
That's one interpretation of.
Oh well, she's the main chick who brought Denji in.
Yeah, she's the head of their special division.
I'm just really bad with names. That's the only thing. I know who you're talking about. It's just I couldn't remember. I wouldn't put a face to the name.
Yeah.
That is the girl that Denji is simping for.
Yes. And a lot of the fan base simps for as well.
Oh, I've seen the internet.
Yeah. And then readers of the manga are no, please don't. please do not simp after this hot woman. And I mean, I can understand both ends. Dang. I will say, I didn't genuinely think this character would be your favorite because they show him very, very briefly. But Beam, the shark fiend.
The shark fiend?
Yeah, do you remember him at all?
No, I don't even know who that is.
All right, so like I said, they show him very briefly in the anime. When they are attacking the hotel with zombies inside it, after
You know about the very beginning of the season?
No, like at the very end of the season
Um.
when they're trying to take down Katana Man.
Oh yeah.
In the basement when they start Captain Kashibi, the guy with the face scar that trains Denji in power, he introduces some of the other devils and fiends that are on the Special Divisions team, and one of them is Beam, a shark guy. And he, like, every time I see him, he just makes me think of Sharknado. Because he is... I mean, he's also, like... He's a lot like Power in the fact that he's a very simple character. Except he's a little dumber than Power because his devil is an animal. He's more of an animalistic character. And his power is that he can swim through anything. Any solid material, he can swim through it like it's water.
Okay.
And he can also partially transform his body into his full devil form, which is a shark. So, like, in the anime, it shows him swimming through the wall, seeing all these zombies, and he's like, a feast. Jumps down and just starts slaughtering all these zombies, and, like, his head just enlarges into a giant shark head, like...
Okay, I remember now.
Yeah. That guy was like, see... If he had more screen time, I feel like he would probably be one of Raceland's favorite characters.
Dude, I felt so bad for Denji in the beginning of the anime, though. Like,
Denji
so messed up.
Denji has a rough life through it all. I don't think there is one point he ever gets a break.
What's the name of the little dog? The little chainsaw dog? Is it
Pochita.
Pochita. I was like,
Pochita.
So sad.
The chainsaw devil. Pochita is a very interesting thing because, like, in the anime, it is, like, if you actually listen to some of the devil interactions that they have with Denji, it really implicates Pochita as being, like, some legendary devil. But all we know him as is Denji's pet chainsaw dog.
Yeah, I didn't know about the legendary devil thing.
Like, when they're in the hotel, the, like, time thing.
Dude, real quick, about that. That was probably one of the craziest episodes, was the hotel time paradox thing.
Yes. In that episode, the devil's... Or, if you listen to the devil, he's saying... I knew you were still alive. You couldn't have possibly died. You were just weaker than you used to be. Now, taking the fact that Denji's pretty powerful as Chainsaw Man. So the fact that Pochita is being talked about by this being that is obviously locking them in time is saying, oh, you're weaker now? That right there tells you that Pochita was a pretty powerful devil.
I guess. I didn't even pick up on that at all.
Then you have the fact that Katana Man works for the Gun Devil, and the Gun Devil wipes out an entire team just to get Chainsaw Devil's heart.
True.
The strongest devil in the world is trying to get the Chainsaw Devil. When he has a basic, like, copy of the Chainsaw Man, the Katana Man, already at his beck and call.
I never put those two together, honestly.
Yeah. It's just the little things in the anime that kind of just points you in the direction of, you know what, maybe Denji's full potential has not yet been reached. Which, oh man, I'm looking forward to how they represent that later on.
Well, I mean, this anime is so popular. There's no reason it wouldn't get a season 2.
Oh yeah, I fully expect it to get a season 2.
This anime blew up. I just started seeing every like cosplay and stuff of this all over YouTube and TikTok and stuff, and that's why I was like, okay, what is this anime? That's what made me like, I need to sit down and watch this because it's like it was everywhere for like the longest time.
So that's what I got to do to get you to be interested in certain animes. I got to make sure it's very popular in social media.
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
Oh, I didn't.
So-
Did you ever tell us who is your favorite character?
oh, my favorite character is Aki.
Aki. Aki is
The-
the psycho chick.
No, Aki is the guy with the sword.
Oh,
And
the
the
one who
ponytail.
only has a couple like months or years to live or something like that.
Yeah, 2 years left to live
That's
because he
it.
used the cursed sword.
Dude, why do
which-
people love that crazy chick? The one who's just like, kill Denji, just give him what he wants.
Oh yes, Kobeni, I think. Kobeni.
Dude, the internet loves that chick.
She is just an effing beast.
Is she?
Like expect you see it in the anime.
Yeah.
Like even when like they're doing the introductions, Himeno even says, "Yeah, she's got real potential. She's really timid, but she has the skills to do this job." And then when the whole squad dies and Denji's being dragged to the van, she's the one who basically saves Denji by going in and showing off her badass skills against the Katana Man.
That's true.
And she's not even a devil user at that point. Like
Hey,
that's just her pure human skill. Like, yeah, Kobeni is
you need to be careful with what you say. You're treading into spoiler territory, Nate.
how so?
You said she's only a human at this point, is what you said.
Oh, I honestly don't even remember if she ever becomes a devil.
I'm just saying, careful
as a
with what you
human-
say.
Well, I'm just saying, as a human, she was able to take on Katana Man,
Yeah.
someone who Chainsaw Man was having difficulties with. She is like I said, she's basically peak human assassin.
It's true.
And she even proves it like in the final fight where Aki's fighting the snake chick. And she's like, "Snake," and he's like, "No, don't." And you think he's saying, "Don't summon the snake." No, he's telling Kobeni not to slice her throat because Kobeni just appeared out of nowhere behind her with a knife at her throat.
It's true.
Like, she's timid, she's scared, she's afraid of going insane on this job, but damn, does she have the skills for the job. So yeah, I can understand why a lot of people are obsessed with her online. And I can only imagine that obsession is going to get even stronger in the second season.
Oh, goody.
But yeah, my favorite character would be Aki. What?
It's not Power.
Huh? Oh, Power is probably like my third favorite.
Third? Okay.
Denji's my second favorite.
That makes sense. I figured.
Yeah.
You're a main character simp.
Yeah, I'm always for the main characters doing well. Usually. I will say I think there are some animes. I can't name them off the top of my head, but I feel like there are some animes where I'm like, that main character sucks.
Goku.
We need a new main character. Oh yeah, Goku. Yeah, exactly. Gohan. So yeah. I have a question though. What would you pick? Because in this world, anything that grants fear can become a devil. What would you want your contracted devil to be?
Super easy. Super simple. Because I'm already afraid of this. One of my biggest fears is electricity. I'm terrified of getting electrocuted.
Okay.
So I get electric powers. Electric devil.
The electric devil. Okay.
Dude,
That-
so remember at our old job when we worked in the AR room and we had to like take apart our pieces? There was a piece in that machine that was like, if you touch this, you'll die. Don't touch this. And it's just exposed. And ever since then, it's been like, I'm pretty afraid of that. And it was like, really solidified my fear of electricity.
Yeah.
And I was already afraid of it beforehand, but it's like being in real life, like real close to that. I'm afraid of electricity, man. Like anytime that in my house with my wife and my kids and everything, if there's any electrical problem at all, like you better call someone. I'm not fixing that.
Yeah. No, I can understand that.
Like,
And I think that's a good
I need
devil,
you to,
too.
I need you to rewire this. You better call some electrician. That ain't me.
Yeah, I think that would be a good devil to have on your side.
Who'd you pick?
Me personally, I would probably pick Time.
How is time? Okay, I get it. A fear of like running out of time. Okay.
Yeah. So
You would basically become the hotel devil, right?
No, I'm not talking about like trapping people in time. I'm talking about the fear of time passing too quickly.
Okay,
So having the ability to basically instantly age your opponents.
it makes me think of from My Hero what's his name? The main bad guy.
I don't remember his name either, but he does a disintegration.
Yeah, it's similar, but instead of disintegrating, it's just aging.
Yeah,
Two disintegration.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could do that, but yeah. So mine would be the passage of time.
So here's a question. So in that anime, obviously, like you've got what's the main character guy with the ponytail? You said your favorite character. Aki's ability is he can summon a wolf. So he like
a fox
or a fox.
I wish it was a wolf.
He summons the fox like by putting like in his hands like in a circle or something like that, and then like it summons it and appears out of nowhere. And then you got Denji who like he pulls a string and his body turns to chainsaws. So if yours is time, what physical manifestation would yours look like?
Well, it would depend because Aki is a devil user, whereas Denji is kind of a hybrid fiend.
Okay.
Power is a fiend, devil possessing a corpse. Denji is a human with a devil heart, and Aki is just human borrowing the powers of a devil.
Okay, so my main question is how would you want it to come out? How would you want your devil, however it works?
I would go with two like clocks on my wrists that I would just flick the minute hand, and it would start my abilities. And anything I touch with that hand starts to age.
Okay. I don't know how I do my electricity. I like the idea of like being
Just
what?
a really stupid one would be keep a battery on you, and every time you wanted to activate your ability, just lick the batteries.
Stupid. No, I like the idea of like kind of like the ponytail guy, how he summons the fox, and it literally just like summons out of a portal kind of thing. It'd be interesting to see like an electricity devil come like summon out and just electrocute everybody.
Now, keep in mind, if you go the devil user route, that means you have to sacrifice something become or to use that power.
I like the hybrid idea.
Yeah, the hybrid is probably the best one because you'd be able to have the devil within you, so the devil's not dead.
I'm sorry. I just picture this becoming just like Pokemon. Have you ever heard of the Pokemon?
Gotta collect them all.
No, you ever heard of the Pokemon Rotom? It's a little like
the possession Pokemon.
Yeah, it's the one that's a little lightning thing that possesses like your Pokedex and stuff, and that's like all the Pokemon games, like all the current ones. Rotom is the ones that like talks to you. So I just pictured this little lightning bolt thing going into me, like, "Hey guys, I'm possessing this human now. I'm here to be your personal." Like what?
Now that would be a pretty like one of your abilities, being able to interact with technology due to electricity.
That would be sick. So yeah, cool. I would like my devil ability to be Rotom. Basically.
Your body, instead of a chainsaw head, you just get like lightning hair.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Make it super like edgelord 90s cartoons. It's like all the hair is just like lightning back, like slicked back.
Your arms look like they're made out of thick cables instead of muscles, and
do you
your
remember?
Fingertips are just plugs.
Do you remember the show Static Shock?
Yeah.
Do you remember Hot Streak? How when he turned his fire on, his hair would become like super flaming hot red and slicked back and stuff. It's just that with electricity.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just like super 90s edgelord.
You gotta have like a demonic face though if you're going hybrid.
Okay.
Basically, with hybrids, the three things that change are your head, your arms, and your legs. Not all the time. Sometimes it's just your head and arms. Sometimes it's just your head. But always the head will change.
Maybe have it be like a giant like ball of electricity, like always scrambling kind of thing.
Okay. I look forward to you seeing some of the other transformations in this, because they're all just like, you wouldn't think they would work, but damn, do they look good.
I mean, it's hard to picture anything because Chainsaw Man just looks so badass.
Yes.
That it's like I can't picture anything that looking that badass. You know what I mean?
If they go the route of the manga, just wait till you see Gun Devil, like full form. Oh, it is a, like, I hate to say this as an American, but it is an American's wet dream.
Oh, hell yeah. America, fuck yeah.
Like, you take the stereotypical American obsession with guns, that is the Gun Devil.
He better be like Homelander coming in with like a red, white, and blue cape.
No, even better, dude. When you see it, oh man, you'll understand what I mean. So that is pretty much all I have to say on this. If anybody is interested in action and comedy and just
Sadness.
check this out. Yeah, no, sad. Honestly, I guess it's because I read the manga.
Oh,
like,
dude.
I didn't feel too much sadness when I watched this.
Especially
Like,
when Eye Patch Girl went. I was just like, oh, no.
I mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's because I read the manga that I didn't feel too bad. Because...
You're just like numb to emotion, Nate. I could see that.
Oh, no. I do not watch Attack on Titan because I don't want to be introduced to characters.
That's my next pick for you, Nate.
Going to constantly...
Oh, that's
way more than 12 episodes.
That's my next... first season. The one you picked for me, Record of Ragnarok, has 2 seasons. I only watched the first one.
Isn't Attack on Titan like 20 episodes, though, in the first season?
I don't know.
Either way, her death, like, the tone of this series basically implies, characters are going to die.
Yeah.
And honestly, living in this world is not that great. So
no, not
death
great.
might just be preferable.
All right. Well, that is Chainsaw Man
on Hulu.
And I watched it on Crunchyroll. It's also there. Anybody who's a Crunchyroll subscriber.
And Funimation, if you are.
Well, Funimation doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, really?
Funimation got bought out by Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll owns both now, and they shut down Funimation.
Then why am I still able to access the Funimation site?
I don't know.
Well, the Funimation site is still available, and it is available on there as well.
It's probably Funimation brought to you by Crunchyroll.
Maybe. Either way, you can access it on Crunchyroll site, Funimation site, and Hulu site.
All right. So then now I'm going to talk about The Record of Ragnarok, a Netflix exclusive. I have actually had this on my watch later list for like a year.
Yes. Same with Chainsaw Man.
I kind of forgot it existed.
Well, that's why I'm here, to make sure you watch what you've forgotten.
And I liked it. I thought it was good. Not at all what I was expecting. Very different what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I was just like, okay, so it's just going to be some kind of like... Well, just looking at the title, Record of Ragnarok, I'm like, oh, so it's going to be like some Norse mythology kind of action anime. Boy, was I wrong.
Speaking of, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about what it is?
So what it is basically the gods all gathered together, and they're tired of humanity. Humanity, it makes sense. Humanity is just, you messed up, you're fucking up the world, you're plaguing this universe. We need to be gone with them. So they're all in favor, wipe out humans, just restart, make everything better, just gods. And then there's one Valkyrie who was like, wait, I have an idea. Why don't we pull out Ragnarok? Which Ragnarok is, in this universe, very different than the origin of Ragnarok. In this universe, Ragnarok is basically a contest of champions. You take the Earth's humans, their best humans, versus the gods, and in this tournament style. So if you get 7 consecutive wins, whoever's side wins. And if the humans win, they get to continue living for 1,000 years. Which you think, when I heard that, I go, so does that mean if they win and they continue for another 1,000 years, in 1,000 years you're gonna have to do this over again?
We'll have a whole new batch of heroes to participate.
And if the gods win, they're just like, we're just going to wipe them out. Like, we're just going to continue with what we wanted to do.
Clean slate.
Yeah. So that's basically the whole gist of it, is that the whole anime is just about the humans trying to basically fight for survival. Yes. Which comes to my first talking point. I love an underdog story. That is one of my favorite types of shows, movies, anything. If you got an underdog trying to beat the big guy, love that. And that's exactly what this is. The humans being like, no, we ain't going to take this fight sitting down. We're going to fucking fight.
It has turned all of humanity into the underdog.
And one thing I did like is that, so humans can pull anybody from any time period and bring them into the tournament. I thought that was so cool. The fact that they're just like, we can pick and choose from any time period and then bring all of that guy's families and friends to just spectate from that time period. Just boop, pick them out, put them in there. No big deal. Because like every episode, it's like every time there's a new fighter that's like, we're going to have this, background story of why they're be a fighter and all of the people that they've traveled with at their whole life and all that. Which is a negative. I want to say one thing is I noticed it took like 4 episodes for the first fight to even end. I was like, this is giving us some real Dragon Ball Z energy here. It's gonna be like a 4-minute fight. It's gonna take like 7 episodes, Nate.
So that's actually something I'd like to point out. You are correct in comparing it to that. For me, it's kind of what I missed about older Dragon Ball, where it wasn't like them fighting villains coming to Earth and looking at them. It was like a tournament style Dragon Ball.
Yeah. But it was just, I made it noticeable when I'm watching this. And it took 4 episodes for the first fight. And I'm like, this is only 12 episodes for the first season. There's supposed to be a minimum of 7 fights. And it took 1/4 of the first fucking season for us to even get through the first fight.
Oh, yeah. The manga, like, has them go whole arcs is pretty much a fight.
That's annoying. And that's really irritating to me.
I mean, it keeps it going, though. And it's really interesting because, like, say you don't know about some of the characters that they're introducing. It gives you a backstory as to what this character is. So it's
and that's another negative,
an alternate history lesson kind of thing.
That's another negative I put on my thing, though. Like I said,
really?
Dude, I appreciate a backstory, but we don't need full episodes of a backstory. Dude, I'm here. It's a 12-episode season. There's only 24 episodes in all of this whole series. I don't know if there's going to be a season 3. It doesn't look like it. I'll get me wrong. Dude, I don't need...
There's already a season 2.
I know. I'm going to talk about that soon. But the fact, it's like, dude, I don't need 3 episodes long of a backstory of this one character. Dude, get to the fight. I only have 24 episodes to get 7 fighters in.
To be fair, the first season takes out 3 fights.
I know. My point being is that I've seen this with other shows where they have this long, drawn-out backstory of, it's like, if it's going to be like, they're going to introduce 10 characters, and there's this long, drawn-out backstory for each character, and then guess what? The series got canceled. Oh, we're going to cram the last, 4? Just cram it all into 3 episodes. I don't want that to happen.
That'll be what you want, though, because then it'll be, just the fights.
No, because then you don't... if they get moderation, give us, 1 episode of, a backstory mixed in with the fight. And then another episode, backstory mixed in with the fight. Not just be, 3 episodes of being long ago this fighter did this with this family, and that is why he's the best swordsman ever made. And then we're going to explain all of his best friends and all of his family and all of the failures he's gone throughout his whole life. I'm like, dude, does this impact the story at all? No, it does not. They're fighting.
It explains why he's able to pull off what he does.
I know, but it's like, dude, you could have summed this up in 10 minutes instead of summing it up in 45 minutes.
There is a detail, though, that you haven't mentioned yet about the fighters.
I'm getting to the fighters. I'm just giving my... Again, this is a good anime. But it's like, I nitpick certain little things.
This is a good anime, but I'm gonna spend 3 episodes complaining about it.
No. All right. Let me just get into the anime, okay? There's one question I had.
Okay.
From episode 1, when they're talking about all the different gods and all that, and they said Shiva. I thought in lore, isn't Shiva a woman?
I honestly think Shiva's like androgynous, but like I said, this anime is definitely alt history.
Yes. So I even have a comment here. Thor looks super different than Marvel Thor. Like, so different. When they were like talking about the next fighter is going to be one of the greatest thunder gods of all time. I'm like, oh, it's Thor. Cool. It's going to be Thor. You know it's Thor. He's the thunder god. And this red-haired guy with a hammer the size of, like, a car comes out. I'm like, who's this guy? What is this?
They even introduce gods that don't exist.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
They mention him during Poseidon's run.
Oh, yeah?
Which is the last fight in the series, or season, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
They mention the 4th brother of the trio.
Oh, yeah. The 13th god.
Yeah. He does not exist. He's purely from this anime.
That's kind of funny, actually. That's why they kind of erased him.
He's like that's their reasoning as to why he doesn't exist to us mortals, because he was erased from the history of the Pantheon. But he's like, basically, I love how all of the big 3 look generally human. He looks like a human insect.
And I think it's funny, the only purpose of introducing this character to this anime was just to show how badass Poseidon is.
Yeah, like, he was the strongest of all of us, but Poseidon put him down. That makes him the strongest. But Zeus put Poseidon down. He's the it does sound very Olympian to be like, oh yeah, no, his power level is way higher, but
it's over 9,000.
Yeah, his power level's way even higher. Like, oh my gosh.
Speaking of Thor, what did you think of his like living hammer? Like, his hammer was actually like pulsing, like
yeah, no,
it was like a creature. It was so weird.
Thor is just a very interesting character in this in this adaptation.
Am I the only one who thought Thor was more badass than Poseidon? Poseidon was kind of dumb.
On one hand, like, I understand where you're going. Like, Thor was more verbally badass. Poseidon was supposed to come out more as like I am the silent badass kind of character.
Thor was
I don't think they really pulled off.
Poseidon was a little bitch, in my opinion. Like, when Poseidon got cut down, I was very happy.
Well, yeah, we should be very happy.
It was more like I was happy because I was like, out of the 3 fights I've seen, that was my least favorite fight. Like, the first 2 fights, awesome. I'll get to those fights in a minute. But it's like, when the 3rd fight came out, I kind of started like, okay, this is kind of dragging.
So who did Thor fight though?
Thor fought some like wasn't he just like a Chinese like warlord basically?
Lu Bu.
Lu Bu, that's it.
The legendary Lu Bu.
Is that a real person? I don't know who that is.
Yes, he is a real person. He is so popular that he's in almost he is in every Dynasty Warrior game there is. Even if it doesn't make sense, they put him in.
Never played one, so I didn't know that.
He's also in just a lot of other games from that period, honestly. So Lu Bu is just a beast of a guy, and there's something you haven't quite mentioned about human fighting yet, like the fighting gods. Do you know what you missed?
You talking about how they have like all special powers and stuff?
Sort of.
Are you talking about the Valkyrie weapons?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. I was gonna say Valkyrie weapon. The Valkyries turning themselves into living weapons was pretty sick, to be honest.
Yes. Perhaps, like, I think that is perhaps one of the coolest ways of them doing this in this adaptation, because, like, obviously, if you just take gods with all of their celestial power and pit them up against humans,
you know who's gonna
not.
win.
Yeah, like it is not fair whatsoever.
That's why when this series started, I was like, how are they gonna pull this off? Like, humans cannot win against gods. This is not a story. It's not a folk tale.
Yeah, genuinely, there is only maybe one human that probably would have stood a chance against a god without a Valkyrie weapon.
Is it Lu Bu?
No, it wasn't Lu Bu.
I know who you're talking about. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you get to that one.
Because we're gonna talk about that one. So I forgot I put this in my notes. That guy was simping so hard for Lu Bu.
Oh yeah.
That guy was like obsessed with, like, I love him so much. If he goes down, we all die.
That is that is loyalty to a T.
No, that was loyalty to a creepy T. Like, I think that guy wanted his D. Like, that was weird.
It's highly possible.
That dude was simping really hard for Lu Bu. Like, no, Lu Bu.
Lu Bu is just that inspiring, though. Like, people just, all of his soldiers are just like, fuck yeah, Lu Bu, ride or die.
Oh man.
So what happens to the loser of the round?
So don't they just, like, once they get, like, they die, and then they just they just kind of, like, disintegrate into the nothingness of the world, right?
They are erased from existence.
Okay. So you'll never see them in a history book kind of thing.
No, like, they can never act to the kind of thing. Like,
they can never what? Say it again?
Historical figures. So there's still historical figures, but they will they are no longer available to the afterlife.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody who is being brought in is dead. This is the end where they're bringing dead people to fight for them.
Right. That's what I meant by you can pluck anybody from time.
Yeah. And this also goes towards the gods who lose as well. Any gods who lose are gone for good. They're still in the history books, but they are no longer there to fulfill their role within the celestial pantheons that they exist in.
Yeah.
Which, man, really hurts considering some of the characters.
So let's move on to the next fight, which is my favorite fight of its entire season.
Honestly, probably my favorite fight throughout the series.
Oh yeah?
I have.
This was cool.
I read the manga, and the manga does have some really good fights, really good characters. This is still perhaps my favorite.
We're going to start out with it. So it's Zeus. Zeus decided he wanted to step in and be like, I want to be the next fighter. Zeus is a creepy ass old man in this anime. Like, what a creepy ass.
I'm really happy about that.
That Zeus is a creepy old man?
Yeah. Because,
I mean, it kind of like solidifies what they say about Zeus and religion.
Yeah, a lot of times Zeus in media is turned into like this wise old man who looks after humanity and all that. Fuck no. He is a pervy ass bastard who rapes women constantly behind his wife's back, who he raped and forced to marry him.
Yeah, Zeus is not a great guy.
Yeah, like, one of my favorite shows of all time is The Legends of Hercules. And Zeus is just like the downtrodden grandfather looking after his son and grandchildren because his wife Hera doesn't understand and doesn't like the fact that he had a child outside of wedlock. Yeah, keyword, outside of wedlock. Zeus is just an asshole. And they did a great job of doing that in this series, I think.
Yeah. So, who does Zeus fight? Well, we're going to get into that. As soon as I saw the episode's title, and it was called .0000001, and they were like, that's the file number for the next fighter, I immediately knew exactly who it was before they even said it. I was like, oh, it's going to be the first human, Adam, from Adam and Eve. And I was right. I was 100% right. That fight was so awesome. My God, that was so sick. Like, Adam is such a beast.
He is.
So, Adam has a special ability compared to a lot of like the other
rest
fighters.
Of mankind.
Yeah. So Adam doesn't even really need a Valkyrie weapon, to be honest.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we never described like the Valkyrie weapons, like what they do.
You can explain it.
The Valkyrie weapons are each Valkyrie within the pantheon of Norse mythology turns herself into the weapon that is most specialized for the warrior that they are picking.
Like Lubu got a spear.
Yeah, Lubu had a giant-ass halberd that is just astounding. And all of them are basically granting them, the humans, the ability to actually harm gods.
Right.
Oh, what is Adam's Valkyrie weapon, Raceland?
They're just like, he's just like, I guess I need a weapon. They turn it into brass knuckles.
Because he's a fucking beast.
Adam has the coolest power I've seen in this entire season, which was, it was a nice twist on the words of the Bible. Very interesting. I was not expecting it at all. So they said in the Bible that Adam was made in the eyes of God. If I'm correct about this, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Nate. Is that he was made in the eyes of God, and in the anime they took that literally. They gave Adam the eyes of God so that he could anytime he saw any gods use a power, a technique, an ability, anything, he could reflect it and do it as well. Yeah, so it's like fighting a mirror image of yourself. So Zeus, anytime he uses Zeusly powers of like, this is my axe kick or whatever he uses, like a specialized move, Adam would just use his reflective ability to just bounce it right back at him, but stronger and faster.
Yes. Basically, they made Adam Taskmaster from the MC, the Marvel Universe.
True. Yes.
He is, and damn, does he do it well? Like,
oh my God! Like when they came out, I'm like, what is Adam gonna do? Like, what can this guy do?
Yeah, a naked guy with a fig leaf. Like,
ooh, and he's got brass knuckles. Ooh.
Yeah. And
that's exactly how all the gods reacted too. They're just like, oh, who's this little twerp? No big deal. This is Zeus, the god of gods. I'm not afraid of this guy.
He is, I think, the smallest of all of the fighters we see in the season, and I think even in the series so far. But he is also the most intimidating.
Right.
Oh, man. Adam is... If you cannot guess, Adam's probably my favorite character.
Oh, 100% my favorite character. Adam is the coolest character ever. And that's why it's so sad.
Yes, because he sadly loses.
Yeah.
But, which is such fucking bullshit.
Yeah, dude,
he loses.
When he, like, beat the shit out of Zeus to the point where he, like, busted his neck all the way, wrapped it around his entire body, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, Adam won! Oh, hell yeah! The fight's over! Oh, I was wrong. Like,
yeah.
And the way he loses is just like, you're using your ability too much.
Yeah, because ultimately he is mortal, and he is using a divine ability. And while he may have the powers of the Valkyrie in his knuckle, that does not give his body the power of the Valkyrie.
Even Adam is so badass, he even said that he died on his feet while still throwing punches after he died.
Oh, yeah. The fight didn't end until way after
Adam was already dead.
Like, he is the very opposite of the meme, you killed him. Like, that is, oh man, it is, Adam.
So yes,
one of the reasons I liked Adam, this adaptation at least, so much, is how they did his backstory.
Yeah. He, instead of it being, Eve was tempted by the serpent and bit the apple and blah, 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 blah. It was the serpent just framed him. It's like they just framed her like, oh, she didn't actually bite the apple. That was a lie. But she's guilty. Haha. And then Adam comes into the courtroom like, motherfucker, get your hands off my woman. I will bite every one of these apples so I can be banished and get my girl.
It's such like it's such a great move on his part.
And then just obliterates the serpent.
Yeah, walking into the Council of Gods carrying a basket of apples
and
taking a bite.
Not only that, but like it was a giant that came in and they're just like, what do you need? And then he just kind of throws the giant down like, oh, I killed this guy. He just was just my way to get in.
Exactly. He doesn't even finish that. He just takes a bite of the apple, tosses it to the side.
Not even that. He insults him even more. He takes a bite of the apple and then spits it on the ground. Like, I'm beneath this divine apple.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even need this. I'm just wasting it because you guys are insulting my woman.
I am just wasting it because fuck you, I can.
Yeah. Like, damn. He was just he is, I hate to say it, the ultimate Chad.
Yeah. So after the Adam fight, we move on to the final fight of the season 1.
Yeah.
Which was my least favorite and honestly the most boring out of all the fights. Poseidon versus some samurai guy.
Kojiro Sasaki, who is
such a boring character. Such a boring character.
He is my second favorite character of the entire series.
Are you serious? He's so boring.
Because he is like the epitome of losing and yet finding a silver lining in that loss.
Nate, I didn't even put him in my notes because I didn't have anything good to say about this character.
He's a dual wielder.
So what? I don't care about dual wielding, Nate.
Who never stopped studying the blade even after death.
This is a character meant for you, not for me.
I get that. I'm just saying, he is a badass because when everyone else passed away, they enjoyed their eternal afterlives. He just kept going.
I liked Lubu's character more than this character.
Lubu was like, okay, all of the characters are just badass, like in their own rights.
Honestly, I was a little sad when Poseidon lost because I wanted that character to win.
That is fucked up.
I'm just kidding.
Wait until you see next season.
Oh, that brings me to my notes. So, alright, Poseidon lost. This guy won. Cool, whatever.
Because he played 5D chess in his head and outwitted Poseidon.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's cool. Anyways, I have 2 final notes.
Yeah.
And one, on the last episode, I am so interested to see what Hermes and Valkyrie were talking about on the last episode. Some secretive bullshit happening right there I'm not a big fan of. What the hell was that about?
Just keeps you going, man.
And then, so, in the very beginning, they said, oh, the list of fighters is out, and they're flashing it really fast, and then, it's in subtitles of, like, what it says in Japanese. Yeah. And I saw one name, and I go, oh, shit, really? Dude, that's the one I'm the most excited to see. And it's the fucking teaser of Season 2. and that is Jack the Ripper. I was like, oh, damn, Jack the Ripper's on the roster? Hell yeah. Because I'm a huge fan of, like, the whole, like, lore of Jack the Ripper. Mm-hmm. And when they teased him as the next fight, I was like, dude, I'm definitely watching season 2 now. And then they announced who he's fighting against, who I also guessed correctly. And they say, half man and half god. I go, Hercules? It can't be Hercules. Why would Hercules fight for the gods? Wouldn't he fight for humanity? Mm-hmm. No, it's fucking Hercules fighting Jack the Ripper. And I was like, why? Why is Hercules fighting for gods?
So, this is where the manga kind of picks up. It gives a little bit more interaction, like, in between the rounds and whatnot.
Okay.
And Hercules meets with the Valkyries, and the Valkyries are like super excited to see Hercules because they're like, obviously he's gonna fight for mankind.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Thing. And then Hercules is like, aha, like kind of All Might-ish. He's like,
I am here.
Yeah, he's like, have no fear. And they're like, oh yeah, he's gonna be joining. He's like, I'm on the side of the gods. And they're like, wait, what the fuck? What? And he's like, look, here's how I see things. Humanity has no chance of winning against gods. And I'm thinking, Hercules, have you not been watching the fights?
Did you not just see Adam literally almost beat Zeus?
Yeah, like, Hercules, come on, man.
Like, the Adam and Zeus fight was determined by literally, like, a few seconds of differences.
Yeah, from physiology. The only reason Adam lost is simply because he had a human body.
If Adam could have held out for literally, like, 2 more minutes, he would have won.
Honestly, not even 2. Like, just 20 seconds, he probably would have won.
Yeah.
Because
ridiculous.
Zeus was on the verge of defeat.
Dude, that makes me so mad. Like, the Adam losing makes me the most mad about this entire anime.
Yeah. Zeus even admits that was close. No. So when Hercules, like, announced it to the Valkyries are like, what are you doing? And he's like, if I win, I will fight and advocate that the council not go along with their plan. And I'm like, why
don't you just fight for humans?
Now, hold on. This actually is what made me like this version of Hercules.
Because, we haven't seen that yet, so don't get too much spoily.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, that logic right there is what made me like this version of Hercules. Because in a lot of iterations of Hercules we see, he's not smart, but he's pretty average intelligence, and he's a hero. He's like a Captain America kind of guy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But Hercules is dumb as rocks. He's not smart at all. He is stupid as fuck. And that is what they're representing with this Hercules, because his logic is completely stupid as fuck. He's fighting to win a tournament that's deciding to wipe out humanity so that he can argue to not wipe out humanity. The decision's already been made, Herc. You're fighting for the wrong side and you don't even realize it because you're so stupid.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
That's what I like about it. Like, I was really against it until he told that logic, and I was just like, they needed to include this in the anime because that would explain Hercules' just stupidity.
They don't bring it up in the beginning of season 2?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh, way to possibly spoil season 2, bro.
Well, then it's a spoil for me too.
Still. Anyway.
Either way, one of the things that I am looking forward to your interaction is because I want to know how you think or what you think about the Jack the Ripper fight.
I don't know. I'm excited.
It is a very controversial fight amongst fam.
Oh, interesting.
So I want to hear your thoughts on this.
I mean, so far, like Adam, Lubu, and the samurai that nobody cares about,
Kojiro Sasaki.
all 3 are like notorious, like
heroes.
I guess in their own way, they're heroes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper is straight up a fucking criminal. He's a murderer.
Yeah, notoriously known to be the bad guy, and Hercules is famously known to be the hero.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper, like, I know in real lore, Jack the Ripper killed, like, a few, like, dozen people. They even mention in the anime, don't they say that he, like, killed an entire city, basically?
I think so.
He killed, like, hundreds of people.
Yeah, he's not a good guy. But that's the thing is, we have access to all of humanity's greatest warriors and fighters and killers. Not once did they say
Had to be heroes.
they would all be good.
Right. So that's why when they did that quick scene of like, oh, here's our roster, I'm like, okay. Jack the Ripper, what?
There is a character I think you will like simply personality-wise in the next season.
Oh, speaking of personality-wise, what did you think of Loki?
Oh, Loki, I like him, but on the other, like, throughout this is manga territory.
No, don't even talk about it.
No, I'm just saying, like, his whole personality just gives me, like, perfect Loki vibes, because you can never quite tell if he's, like, fighting, like, behind the scenes working for mankind, or if he's behind the scenes working for the gods, or obviously behind the scenes working for himself.
So out of the whole
very good job.
Out of the whole season 1, we're kind of wrapping up here. Out of season 1, my favorite characters were obviously Adam was number 1.
Yeah.
I'd say Thor. Thor's number 2. I really liked Thor's character. The way they portrayed him in this anime was really good.
Okay.
And then that's about it. Everybody else was kind of like either didn't matter or was really annoying.
Yeah, for me, it would
like
be...
the sister, the crying sister all the time. She was so goddamn annoying.
I butcher her name all the time. I think it's Goal.
She was incredibly annoying.
She's the 13th sister of Valkyrie.
She's really annoying, that's what she is.
The youngest of the Valkyries, and the whole reason she's even there is basically the first sister, Valkyrie Brynhilde. She is a veteran of war. She knows that this is going to be deaths. Goal is the innocence of this. She may have experienced war on the mortal realm, but she also understands that when you die in the mortal realm, you just come to the afterlife. This is basically her seeing these people are going for good. They're not going to be in the afterlife. They're not going to be on the Celestial Council. They're not going to their domains. They're being erased. So
I'd rather deal with Lubu's simpy little subordinate guy than deal with that annoying little sister chick. She was so damn annoying.
She is the empathy of the show.
Empathy more like annoyance.
You would think empathy is an annoyance. So for me, it would be Adam, obviously. Like, I can't imagine anybody not picking Adam to be their favorite.
Yeah, Adam's the best.
And Kojiro Sasaki, second favorite.
Nah, he's probably my least favorite character in the entire series.
My third favorite, we will have to wait, because he is also just a really cool character, and I'm looking forward to hearing how you think about him.
Okay, well, I'll get to season 2 eventually, because it's not on the podcast, so I'll just take my time with that one.
I might pick it again, simply because I want to hear your reaction.
Nate, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I don't watch this very soon, I will forget everything that happened season 1.
It'd probably be next month.
And that's too long. I'm probably just gonna watch season 2
Then watch it. If you watch it, let me know that you've watched it.
Okay, that's fine.
If you have not let me know that you've watched it,
I'm probably gonna watch it this week or next week. I'll probably watch it either this weekend or next week.
Just let me know.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up here. We did actually get a comment on our Discord. It's our buddy Ty. I put a post saying, this will be the next episode. We'll do an anime swap, blah 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 blah. As always, I haven't watched them and probably won't. And I said, "You got time?" To quote Silver-Eyed Wolf, "There's just other stuff I'm watching right now." Thank you for your input, Ty. That was really insightful.
I understand. Sadly, unlike the gods, our time is finite. We can't watch everything we want to watch.
Especially when I tell you to watch good things and you never do, Nate.
I can say the same for you.
No, I do watch good things.
I'm talking about the things I tell you to watch.
Nah, I said good things.
So, I understand where he's coming from. There are plenty of shows on my list that I'm probably never going to get to, but I would like to get to.
Alrighty. Anything else you'd like to say about Chainsaw Man or the Ragnarok series?
No, that's pretty much it. I highly recommend both of them. One is on Hulu, the other is on Netflix.
Yep, that is true. So thank you guys for listening and or watching if you're on YouTube. We do have YouTube, we got Twitter, we got Discord, got all the pages. It's on the link tree in the link below, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. See you later.